In this modern age, weather forecasting is something that many of us take for granted. We depend on accurate information from forecasters every day in order to make travel plans, dress appropriately, and in cases of extreme weather, protect our lives and our property. But unfortunately, weather predictions are still not as accurate as we would like. In fact, you may be surprised to find out that forecasts over 3 days are still only correct about 50% of the time. In an effort to make weather prediction much more accurate, researchers at NASA are developing a revolutionary new weather satellite instrument called GIFS, or the Geostationary Imaging Fourier Transform Spectrometer. GIFS will provide more than 1,000 times more data than current satellite weather sensors. I spoke with Dr. Bill Smith at NASA Langley Research Center to find out more.
GIFS is a revolutionary new satellite sensor, which will not only change the way we convey weather information to the public, but will drastically improve weather forecasts. Today, weather is very difficult to predict. Although weather satellites provide two-dimensional images of clouds, which help us detect where storms currently exist, quantitative temperature, moisture, and wind data are needed to forecast where storms will develop and where they will move. The poor vertical resolution of current satellite observations now limits the range of useful forecasts to about 3 days.
Currently, weather predictions are not only made from information gathered from satellites and radars, but a large part of the prediction information comes from ground-based weather balloons, which are launched into the atmosphere every 12 hours, about 500 miles apart. These readings create gaps of weather information between the balloons, with upper atmosphere conditions changing very quickly. Making timely, accurate predictions with old data can sometimes lead to a confusing weather picture. To help change this, the GIFS satellite will update weather information used for atmospheric predictions in minutes rather than hours, without gaps in the geographical location. Most of the weather information needed for visualizing the current state of the atmosphere will come from GIFS, making the weather picture much clearer.
GIFS is a three-dimensional digital movie camera. Being on a geostationary satellite and with a 3D camera, you can actually see water vapor, temperature, and even pollutant gases move in the atmosphere. We will be able to see the temperature changes, the flow of water vapor molecules, and the upward spiraling air before the clouds appear, enabling us to detect the storm's location even before their destructive forces develop. Also, being able to watch the motion of the atmosphere in 3 dimensions will enable meteorologists to predict the future position of the storm and its changing intensity.
By providing today's weather forecasting models with more data more often, it's projected that for the first time, weather forecasts can be made reliable many